Hello, I'm James Helder. Welcome to a very special episode of Not For The News here, exclusively to Pitch Football. As always, I'm joined by my step brothers, Curtis Woodhouse and Leon Knight. Boys, I hope this finds you both well. All good?
All good.
Good.
All good. All good.
Good. Let's go straight in. Arsenal, 4-1 win in the Premier League. To go 8 points clear of Manchester City. Let's dissect Arsenal's win over Crystal Palace. What's your initial take on it? I'm going to go straight to 90 on this one.
Well, I think they deserve that after they sacked Patrick Vieira like that. I mean, I think they deserve that beating that they got there. Just clinical performance from the boys. Took the goals well. Some decent goals. It's just about maintaining now, I think. It's not about anything else. It's other than like after that game, it's the next one. After the next game, it's the next one. And before you know it, we're down to the last 3-4 games of the season. But we're really gonna know what Arsenal are all about when they go to Anfield and when they go to the Etihad. That's what we're really gonna know what they're about. So, until then, all these sides that have, just above relegation, mid-table, bottom half of the table, whatever, and we're sweeping them under the carpet. That's all cool. I think we're expected to beat them anyway, to be honest. But the truth will be told come Anfield. The truth will be told come Etihad. So we'll see then.
Do you know what I find interesting? With the goals Arsenal scored, they've now scored one goal less than Manchester City. And they've got that savage Haaland doing absolute bits. So it shows you how many goals Arsenal have made up and the way in the manner they're beating teams like Crystal Palace. Going to go straight to Woodchuck on this. What's your take on Arsenal's win over Crystal Palace, Curtis?
Yeah, great win. Just want to pull 90 up on something about, Palace sacking Vieira. He had to go, in my opinion. I think Vieira's got the best squad Crystal Palace have had in the last 20 years. And it's probably the worst Palace side to watch. They have 20 passes in their own half, don't go anywhere, don't create any opportunities. For me, Vieira had to go. I thought the sacking was a good one. I thought, Palace could have brought in someone a little bit more adventurous than Roy Hodgson, to be fair. But I thought getting rid of Patrick Vieira was the right call. But listen, Arsenal are top of the league because they're the best team in the league. I really enjoy watching them play. The class, to be fair. The balance of the team, I know I keep talking about this, but the balance of the team is really, really good. They're just so well drilled. I love watching them play. This Arsenal team, for me, it's a big shout, but if they keep this team together, Arsenal could be on the brink of a little golden generation here.
Potentially a Muhammad Ali for women's boxing.
Shut up, you cunt!
With the youth of the squad they've got coming through, Martinelli and Saka, Odegaard, these guys could go down as Arsenal legends. It's a big call. Arsenal had some top players, but I think this batch, if they can keep them together, can go on and be the real deal.
Arsenal got Leeds next. Could be another massive 3 points. I know Leeds have got a lot to play for. Where's
that at?
Crystal Palace. It's at the Emirates. At the Emirates.
They'll win that then. If it's at Ellen Road, it's a tricky one, but I can't see Leeds getting anything at the Emirates.
Let's go to Southampton's 3-3 draw with Tottenham. James Ward-Prowse, last-minute equaliser for the Saints. What do you make of that result? And I'm going to go on to the aftermath, I guess, of that. But let's talk about the game initially. I'm going to go straight to Curtis on this one.
Yeah, funny team of Southampton, aren't they? They do take points off teams you're not expecting them to. They are a funny side. Just quickly on Ward-Prowse, probably playing his last few games for Southampton, do we think? I think if they go up or stay down, I think he'll be moving on. He's kind of their main player week in, week out. Great result for him. Spurs are just absolutely rudderless at the minute. I feel sorry for Harry Kane. He does miles better than what he. I know it'd never happen, but you put Kane in that Arsenal team, he'd be doing a madness. But I think Kane.
Well, they said Sol Campbell will never go to Arsenal.
Imagine if Kane goes to Arsenal.
Jesus. Nah, they'll burn down his house. They do something. Something would happen.
Just imagine. Could that happen? Would that happen? I don't know. That can't happen, can it?
It's happened before.
He's an Arsenal fan, you know.
Could that happen? Really?
Well, we'll accept that with open arms. I ain't even gonna lie.
What would be? I'm just trying to think now of like a bigger transfer ever than Kane going to Arsenal. Would it be the biggest ever? It's bigger than Sol Campbell, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe Figo going to Barcelona from Real Madrid.
Yeah,
that was big.
Yeah, that's big. But again, Figo's Portuguese. Yeah. You know, so these are. Where's he gone?
I don't know. He'll pop back up. Yeah, Figo was a big transfer.
Yeah, but Figo's Portuguese, isn't he? This is like a guy from North London going to North London rivals. He's born and bred in England, in North London. Imagine Kane going to Arsenal. Wow. That would be an absolute scene. Do you know what is a shot? I don't think he could do it for safety reasons.
It happened before with Sol Campbell. I don't think you're on the grasp the magnitude of that. I know Kane would be bigger because he's Kane, England captain. But Sol Campbell was the England starting centre-back. Do you know what I mean? He was Tottenham's probably captain. He was the captain at the time. There are similarities.
Yeah. And you know what? And I loved it when Sol said like a week before he left, saying like he was going to sign a new deal or whatever, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing him on the back of the Sun, and it was like, what the hell? Because this was before the days of like Sky Sports and that one. So you used to like it came up on CFAX. Remember teletext where it pops up?
Yeah.
And like, what the hell?
Yeah, no, that was a big transfer. I want to talk a little bit about Conte. There's clearly been I don't know, issues with Conte, with the management, with the chairman, with the board, and I'm guessing the frustrations with the players as well. What did you make of Conte's comments after the game?
I think you've hit the nail on the head with a word there. You could tell he's just utterly frustrated. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? Who knows what has been promised by Daniel Levy and the football club? But Spurs is an absolute graveyard, isn't it? For managers, for players. Whoever goes to Spurs and does well and then cracks on and gets another move. Let's go back over the last 20 years. I'm thinking Modric, Bale, and everyone else just goes there and suffers. You know, it's an absolute graveyard. Spurs are in a right old mess. And I think Conte's just probably had it up to his eyeballs, and he's the one who's getting the blame for it. I don't think he's a right fit for Spurs anyway. Whether he kind of already knows he's leaving, and it's kind of like one last dig at your ex in it before you go.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
And he went on a rant. And you know what? A lot of what he said was bang on. Was absolutely bang on. Spurs are not acting like a big club. Spurs are just participating in the league every year. They've got no ambitions. They've never won anything. Spurs are like just an also ran. I'd hate to support Spurs. Probably the worst team in the league to support because they never do anything. They always let you down. Tottenham Hotspur will always let you down. Deaths, taxes, and Spurs letting you down. Three things that are guaranteed in life.
Since the reign of Daniel Levy, they've had 11 managers. They've won one trophy. I remember Martin Jol being in a similar situation, Pochettino in a similar situation. What is the problem? Where is it going wrong? Can it be the manager's fault every time? Is there some truth in what Conte is saying? What's your take on that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look at the investment, you know, and on paper, like it looks like they've spent a fair bit of money, but look at that investment compared to all the other teams that are up there. You know, Spurs never spend money. They speculate to accumulate, they sell players, bring players in. But Spurs, who's the last like top player who's the last signing that Spurs made where you thought, whoa, that's a good signing? Who was the last one?
That's a big point.
Who was it? I don't know who it was.
Even their better players like Kulevski and Benacore, they've come in on loan deals. So they weren't even rated as big marquee signings. I can't.
No, they were kind of they were good, decent players at other teams that have come to Spurs and done well. But Spurs have never gone out and signed, like, I'm just using him for an example, like, say, a Saka, like a young player who's ripping it up for a team in the same league. Spurs have never done that. Spurs have just gambled all the time that these players are going to come and be a little bit better. But who was the last top signing that Spurs made?
I think you make an interesting point there. That is a big point.
Richarlison? But Richarlison's like, is he all that? I don't know. And then he comes and sits on the bench. Who've they signed? Romero?
Interesting stat about Richarlison. He scored twice in the Premier League this season. He's gone up and shushed the manager, both times taking his shirt off, and both goals have been ruled out for being offside, and he's been given 2 yellow cards. You can't make
this Spurs, isn't it?
You can't make this stuff up.
It's so Spursy.
It's a cursed club. That's what it is. It's a cursed club. It's the best thing that's ever happened to that club is like Harry Kane.
Imagine if they didn't have him. Imagine if they didn't have Harry Kane.
They'll be like, on a real, if they didn't have Harry Kane, they'll be fighting relegation.
I agree. I think they're down there with like Everton. Without Harry Kane, they're Everton.
There's all this uncertainty and this stuff with Conte clearly having issues with the board, the players. He's going, isn't he?
You know what I don't understand?
Do you think this has any bearing on Harry Kane signing a new deal?
No.
You know what I don't understand with this whole Conte thing, is he's actually telling you the truth.
Yeah.
He's giving you the bare bones. There's the truth. This is what's going on within our club. Yeah. This is what is happening. And this is what I'm telling you what's happening. There ain't nothing. You can see the players, like, they're comfortable. They're comfy, not winning nothing.
But you know what, Nighty? The players will know that they're not. You know, when you're at a big club, say you're at Man United or a big club, if you don't do it for a season, there's every chance you're getting replaced.
You're getting someone's coming in to take your place.
But what Spurs?
Like, Conte is a manager, that's won things.
Big things.
Just like Mourinho. Yeah? You can't disrespect them managers. Everybody's calling, Pochettino. Pochettino's won nothing. Oh, we want to play the Poch way. Poch way didn't get you nowhere. It got you to the Champions League final and you lost. You picked up a runners-up medal.
In the time Daniel Levy's been at the club, this is what I asked Curtis as well. They've had 11 managers. They've picked up 1 trophy. Is the problem the board? Is the problem the way the club's run from top to bottom?
It's everything. It's everything. It's not just the chairman's fault. It's not just the manager's fault. It's the players, the chairman, and the man. It's everything. It can't click together. The puzzle doesn't fit. So it's either the chairman's doing some stupidness, the manager's not agreeing with. That's filtering down to the players. The players are not performing on the pitch. First and foremost, the players ain't performing on the pitch regardless.
Nighty, I just said to James before you came back on, when was the last time Spurs signed a player where you were like, oh yeah, that's a good signing?
Jurgen Klinsmann.
Probably. That's what we're talking about. You have to go back years. Look at Spurs' last signing. Spurs have not made a signing where you're like, wow, yeah, that's a player.
Jurgen Klinsmann.
Wow. And that's where Spurs are. So maybe Spurs are actually doing really well for where they are and what they are.
Yeah, but the thing about it is their fans think they're a big club.
Yeah, but they are a big club, aren't they? They should be doing better than what they are.
They're not.
Spurs
They're
not a big club.
They gas up the place. The thing that gets them out of trouble is Harry Kane. That is it. Whether it's he's assisting, or he's scoring. Yeah. The thing that gets them out of trouble all the time is Harry Kane. Yeah. Once he goes, because he's going to be going, he has to be going this season.
He's got to go, hasn't he? He can't stay another year.
Right. So if he goes this season, they're left with filling that hole. Now, who are you going to go and get? They're going to get probably who they're going to go. Ivan Toney. They're going to what are they going to do?
They'll go and get Danny Ings or someone like that. Will Tottenham.
Right. So
no respect to Danny Ings, but you know what I'm saying.
But this is what I'm trying to say. After they get rid of him, where are they going? Because he's their get out of free card.
The only thing that might keep him there, the only thing, if Poch comes back.
Even then,
do you think that's enough to keep him?
If he signs a new deal, he's 29 now, coming up to 30. Surely he must understand that's sacrificing his chances of winning big medals.
If he signs a new deal, I've lost like a little bit of respect for him.
Yeah, you've got to just lose all respect, not just a little bit. Flipping hell. Like you've got to look at him if he signs a new contract. You've got to look at him and say, you're actually comfortable being here and just being average. Not you as a player, but your club as a whole. Like, all right, you're captain and you're comfy. You don't want to challenge. You don't really want to win things, really.
Where does he go? Does he go abroad? Can you see him? Can you see
he goes
Yeah,
Man United.
he goes Man United. Man United are starting to act like the old Man United. You know, in the way they're playing, and they're on the brink of winning things now. And the old Man United all the time went and signed the best striker in the league, like always. You know, from when Andy Cole got 34 goals that season for Newcastle. As soon as the season finished, week later, he's holding a Man United shirt up. Yeah. You know, Shearer they tried to sign when he was banging all the goals in. Now Dwight York got 24 league goals for Aston Villa. Week later, he's there. Van Persie. Man United have always, like Rooney, they've always signed the best striker in the league. And Man United need to go and get Harry Kane to say, hey, we're back. And I want Kane to go there. I think it's a great move for everyone if Kane goes there. I want Kane to win things. He deserves it. His career, like the guy's mentality is elite. His career's been elite. He needs some medals. Let the man, you know, Tottenham need to do a deal. If I was Tottenham, you know what I'd ask for? I'd say, we'll give you Harry Kane and we want 80 million plus Harry Maguire.
I think they should take ice cold Martial.
He can't stay fit though, Martial, can he? He's made out of poppadoms, is Martial. He can't stay fit.
I'd say you can have Sancho, Harry Maguire, yeah, and another player plus 80.
McTominay,
Donny Van der Beek,
especially if Poch goes back.
The thing is, Man United have got players that they need to shift out.
Clearly,
do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I think that's what you say there, Curtis. Money plus flipping a few players is flipping bang on, mate.
Yeah, I agree, and I think Harry Maguire would be a really good signing for Tottenham. I think it's a great move that if they play a back three, you could stick him in the middle. Romero's really good. Put Maguire in there, who's good. I think that's a good fit. They won't get rid of Sancho. They've just signed him, but I agree with Knight. Sancho's not good enough to be a Man United player. But if they offered Maguire, McTominay, an £80 million for Harry Kane, who's out of contract in 18 months, I think that's a great deal.
Stick Fred in there.
Fred's done well though, lately. He likes Fred.
Stick Fred in there.
They probably, you know what? You're probably best off sticking a Martial in there as a centre forward. You could definitely swap Maguire, Martial and McTominay plus 60 million.
No, and Sancho. Sancho's not getting ahead of Anthony right now.
They can't get rid of Sancho though. He's not been here long enough.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? What are you doing with him? You're just paying him.
It looks bad if they get rid of him, doesn't it? They've got to save face on Sancho.
But you know what? We made a mistake.
Yeah, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just can't see him doing that. I don't think Sancho's good enough.
Then you've got him on your wage bill on 200 grand a week.
Who's Sancho?
150.
And the rest, I think he's on 320 or something like that.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say.
Wow. Interesting fact. Casemiro and Jesse Lingard are the same age.
What? What the fuck?
Really? Wow.
How old's that? 32?
They're both 30.
I thought Casemiro was older than that.
Many people think Lingard's younger than that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, when we're on the Man United thing, I remember when Cantona kicked that fan at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a highlight of my year. That
kung fu kick.
That was brilliant, mate. Honestly.
Why are people comparing Mitrovic, him sort of shoving a referee in
He didn't shove him.
He just kind of like put down his arm. He just went like, it wasn't even you see this, it's this new era of bollocks. Yeah. It's this new era of box. I saw Laura Woods on the on Talk Sport talking to who was she talking to? Jamie O'Hara, saying, "Oh, but the kids and blah blah blah." And I'm just thinking to myself, like, it wasn't even nothing.
When I heard what happened, and then I saw it, I was like, "Oh, really?" I thought, like, from when I heard something, I thought, "Oh my God, Mitrovic like has punched a referee or something."
Yeah, he's lost it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I watched it, I was like, "Oh, really? Come on."
And you want to give him an 8-game ban for that?
This is bullshit.
Yeah,
it's not right what he did. None of us think it was right what he did.
No, listen, Curtis, I swear down, I'll throw in a bit of, it was whatever and try and spice it up. It was nothing. No one's agreeing with what he did. But to say you're going to ban the guy for 8 games for that.
Yeah, I agree.
It's actually kind of ludicrous, to be honest.
8 games for a push, 4 games for calling somebody a monkey.
When you think about it like that, you can probably see why racism hasn't been completely stamped out.
We go around the houses with this all the time, don't we? We know why. It's big business.
Mm.
But yeah, the Mitrovic thing was, when I watched it, I was so disappointed when I watched it. I thought I was going to see like some UFC going off, and he just literally moved him with his arm. Like, even the referee, the ref should come out and say, "Listen, it was nothing.
Yeah.
We move on. I sent him off. He's going to get a 3-game ban for the red. Let's all move on."
Yeah, I agree.
It's nothing like Eric. It's nothing like Eric. Studs up.
No. Eric did it properly.
Eric did it. Eric said, "All right, listen, I'm going to get banned for flipping 15 games, 10 games, whatever it was. Yeah, right? I'm going to do this right."
Yeah.
Fly kick in the chest, then fall over, get back up and start flipping throwing hands.
Remember when that first happened, Nate? You remember when it was like, oh my God. I remember I think, was it before the time of Sky Sports? I don't know. Was the game live on Sky?
I think
it was. I think it was live on Sky because I was watching.
It was a live game.
Yeah.
Have you ever like seen Eric Cantona like in the flesh?
He's massive, isn't he?
Mate, he's a unit. I went to go and watch Liverpool versus Leeds United in the Charity Shield. It must have been 1992, maybe?
Two.
Yeah. And it was 4-3. Cantona got a hat-trick for Leeds. And we like got there early. I'm only a young kid, so you want to see him. And he got off the bus. He was like, he looks like a superhero. Yeah. He's massive and he's thick-shouldered. The guy's a unit.
Yeah, now honest to God, yeah, he is a monster of a man.
Yeah,
like he's an actual like my dad used to always take me to the games and stuff and whatever. And like Kurt said, we always used to get there early and see whoever it was. Arsenal was playing or whatever. We used to watch them get off the coach. It was like part of our little bonding, whatever, and this, that, and the other. And when he got off the coach, mate, honest to God, it was just like an aura around him.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It was mental when he got off and he just sniffed up and he just walked on like he didn't look either way, straight ahead. Like everyone was going, "Can't no autographs," and he just not that he ignored, but he was just focused on what he wanted to do. Like he was proper, mate. Honestly, I actually loved watching him play. He was proper.
He had an aura.
Yeah.
I still struggle to believe that Man United signed him for 1 million.
Yeah, joke. You know what? 90 hits the nail on the head with that aura. You know, some people you can't kind of put your finger on it. Is what they've got.
Yeah.
But some people have just got it, haven't they? When they walk into a room, you're like, whatever that X factor, whatever it is, they've got it, and he had it. Cantona was a man for big moments. You know, he scored some big goals for United. I slaughtered a few Man United fans on Twitter saying he was a bit of a catfish. Was Eric Cantona all that? And I said it, and I got bombarded. So I did a little bit of research, and when I looked at him, I was like, yeah, he was all that.
He was proper, mate. Proper.
Yeah, he was all that.
Speaking of goals, Erling Haaland is absolutely obliterating everything. What's his tally at now? 51?
Well, listening to 90, probably like 3 or 4 goals this season. I don't know. You know, this is our resident centre forward who said Haaland's no good. He said Kevin Campbell was better than Bergkamp.
You're trying to get numbers for the show. You're trying to get numbers for the show.
I can't work with this guy.
Find me where I said Campbell's better than Bergkamp.
Well, hold on. So you were naming the Arsenal great centre forwards, and you were talking Kevin Campbell. You didn't even mention Dennis.
Yeah, but Dennis wasn't a real centre forward like that.
Oh, stop it!
It was like a number 10.
Stop it!
In the hole. He was in the hole.
You're in a big hole.
Yeah, you're in a hole.
Let's get the clip up of 90's initial thoughts when Erling Haaland come to the Premier League. Our resident striking expert.
You know, I know you're like me, like I love R9. I think the guy's a joke. I think Haaland might end up being better, you know.
What? No. Cut hey, no. Come on. Let's not get too excited. Let's not get too excited. Now you lot are trying to take me for some dickhead. You lot are trying to take me for a dickhead. And you know the worst thing is as well, yeah, right. The only thing I said is, boy, that's a farmer. The German league's a farmers league, but he's taking a piss here. I know he's taking a piss here. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is,
reverse.
No. That's not even a reverse thing. I miscalculated. Yeah, I miscalculated the whole thing. But yeah, what he's playing up against is dog shit. I'm not asked. If I'm playing in defence, a man ain't scoring 5 goals against me.
No. His numbers
I'm taking him out. I'm getting a red. I'm doing something. He's coming off the pitch.
Against
you know when I watched his goals against, was it Leipzig that they played the other day?
Yeah.
You know what? His goals in that game were brilliant. Like drop, bang, goal. Yeah. They were proper like centre forward goals there.
Goals, yeah.
He was sniffing.
Yeah.
1 touch finish. I think all of them were 1 touch, bang, goal.
Yeah.
Mate, guy's a killer.
They're like Van Nistelrooy type of goals, aren't they?
Yeah, he's any era striker is Haaland. Any era.
And like that defender we were playing against Leipzig, that was Gvardiol. That was the one at the World Cup that Chelsea were going to pay 50 or 60 million pounds for.
They did.
Haaland is a different animal. He's
the real deal. He's the real deal.
Yeah, he is. How many has he got this season? All comps.
I think he's got 52. I think he has in all comps.
I think I scored 14 in 10 years.
What was Messi's one in all comps in a year?
I think it was 92, was it? Or 94 goals.
Really? That's ridiculous.
So this is what I'm trying to say. He's mid. He ain't all that, Haaland. He ain't all that.
How do you get 92 goals in a calendar year?
Well, if you look at the evidence, probably by laying out a lot of money to have referees benefit.
Well, don't try and disrespect the thing.
Accusations of cheating or paying officials.
I don't want to hear it.
Right through the golden era of Messi, right through that Xavi Iniesta link up.
No, I'm not having it.
got to question it. Even if they gained a 3%, 2% advantage, did that change things?
No, I'm not having it.
I always like come back to things like this is you have to because we don't know if any of that's true. That's all circumstantial evidence, blah blah blah. You always have to trust your eyes, and the things you see Messi and that Barcelona team do. You can't cheat that. They were not referee influence. I mean, I remember watching Barcelona spin Man United in that Champions League final that day. That was like Barcelona playing against an under-12s team. And I went away thinking, like, what have I just watched there? They were ridiculous.
On their day, they were incredible. But if you go through, were there decisions where they got last-minute things? Were there decisions that...
Same as Man United. Man United used to get flipping 6-7 minutes added onto games, but they named it 30 time.
It's got a point.
Like, we can all pull up that shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But can we pull up an English club paying out to a referee company $10 million? $10 million.
You're on some scandal thing, brother. I'm not really on it. Like, do you know? Did you go and watch Chelsea versus Barcelona when Barca came to Chelsea? They fucking rattled him. He was about 18. Yeah. Have you watched Messi's career? Messi gets kicked, gets back up, and still got the ball.
Is he the best ever? Is he the best ever?
He has to be.
Nope.
He's got to be, hasn't he?
He has to be.
Yeah,
Where does he compare then? Where does he compare in the list of all-time greats?
I'm putting him up there with the greats.
Yeah. I always used to say, like, the best player that I can kind of remember watching was Maradona.
Got to be Diego Maradona.
Yeah, and the only thing that kind of Messi didn't have that Maradona had was the World Cup. And Messi got that. And for me, that was he's a man. The numbers he's put up are ridiculous. He's probably played in the greatest team the world has ever seen. That Barcelona team, I think, for 3 or 4 years was the greatest club team I think I've ever seen in my lifetime. They were a joke. And he's just ridiculous, isn't he?
I don't really look at the numbers. I look at the actual player and his footballing abilities.
Yeah, it was a joke.
That's what I look at.
Some of the goals he scored, like everyone talks about that Maradona goal against England.
He scored that.
He scored like 10 of them.
He scored that.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? He's actually scored that. When man put up against Cristiano Ronaldo and whatever, and this, that, and the other. When you look at abilities, it's not even a question.
No, it's not.
Maradona went to Napoli and won the league.
Right, I hear you. That's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. That's stupid. Like at that point there, where AC Milan were dominating things and Juve
AC Milan team. Do you remember that team?
The AC Milan team was stupid back then.
Ridiculous.
I think AC Milan that season finished second in the league and conceded 11 goals.
Right,
finished second.
Right,
crazy.
And have you seen that video of the year that they won the league and how they treated Maradona that year on the pitch, where they just absolutely booted him from his hip to his knee to his ankle? They just levered him. Like anytime he got the ball, bruv, some of the tackles, if you did them tackles today, you probably never be able to play football again.
Yeah. It's different eras, isn't it? You know, Maradona was special, and he did it high as a kite.
Yeah.
Can't overlook that.
Coked up. Coked to the absolute brim. Bro, have you seen the video where he's taking a piece of coke on flipping in the tunnel?
When the coaches chilled him out. When he's
yeah,
I've seen that.
Madness.
Yeah.
Diego's like probably more iconic than Messi. Would you say more iconic?
Yeah.
I think the best player to ever walk the planet is Lionel Messi. Guy's a joke.
Well, go on then. So for me, Maradona's ahead of Messi. Just
why would you put him ahead?
Because
I'm not disagreeing.
Because I know Messi got roughed up a little bit at times, but he was playing against Real Sociedad. Do you know what I mean? At other times. So if you look at how Maradona did it, like going to Napoli and winning the league, and his legacy, and like just watching him with the ball, seen some videos of Maradona where he's just walking along the pitch and the ball hitting his shoulder. He's just walking along. Like,
yeah.
It's just different. Like, it's just
I
different.
love the one where he's like booting the ball high up in the air and he's like got his Puma Kings on. The laces aren't done and he's just trapping it, booting it. I'm like, this guy, it makes it look so easy. But if you've actually tried to do that, even just kick the ball up in the air
and let it come down. Yeah.
And straight is hard.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because they're both absolute geniuses. But for me, I just think Messi's longevity, he's done it since he burst onto the scene. He's been number one for 20 years.
Yeah.
Who do you have in your team playing in that 10 role? Peak. Because I always think you got to go peak versus peak. So Diego would say 86 was his peak. Maradona, well, it's a tough one, isn't it?
I'm having Diego.
Yeah.
100%.
I've seen Diego playing I don't know whether it's a charity match or just some sort of match, and he put through a ball to a guy. The ball was not meant to get there, guys. It was dumb. The ball he put through was so stupid. The guy didn't even know what to do with it when he got the ball. I'm gonna have to try and find that clip. He didn't know what to do. He pinged it, but it wasn't a ping. And he had a bit of swaz on it as well. And the guy was going like this, trying to see where the ball was going to land. And the next thing, the ball was just on his foot. And he was like, oh, I'm in. And he was just in on goal, bro. I thought, oh, my God.
You know one thing as well about Diego Maradona, what we, forget about is now with Messi, you get saturated with every little highlight he does. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
There'll be so many things that Diego did in games.
Yeah.
That we've never seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen everything of Messi now, and every little trick. It's on highlights on Twitter. You get to see it. Diego must have been doing that week in, week out. We just didn't see it.
Well, it comes back to what Knighty said before about Pele. You look at all the tricks that are all done now. I've seen a clip recently of Pele literally doing every single one.
Yeah.
Knighty was right. Pele was doing this stuff in the 60s and 70s, So.
Yeah.
There's only one trick I've seen a man do that there ain't many that's done. And that's what a trick that Ronaldo done. The real Ronaldo, R9 Ronaldo. He done a trick in the Copa America. And the guy literally was like this in front of him. Let's say Maradona's the camera. I'm the defender. He was like this. And the next minute, he was like this. Hey, yo, what the fuck? Just absolutely spun round. I've never seen a man spin a man completely round he wasn't running at him, nothing. He stood still and then he shimmied a little bit and then he flicked it back through his legs and then Cruyffed it out of the leg. And the guy spun round. To where the
thing is, well, you got to say, could Messi do it in the mid-80s? Because Diego, if he comes now, would on the pitches and everything, would be a joke. Could Messi do it back in them days?
With the level of violence you'd have to get through, with the pitches, it's a big call. I'm going to say he could. I think he's tough, Messi.
Yeah, and when you're that good, you can do it, can't you? If you're that good, you're that good.
Whether his body would have been able to hold up to it like Diego, it's hard to say. Diego achieved them results being absolutely massacred.
And Diego was a killer as well. Diego would start 20-man brawls.
Have you seen
that one in Barcelona?
That's what I was on. I was on that. Bro, that's what I loved about him. He wanted to do a madness.
Have you seen that clip where he kicked the coach and then the other one's done it and he just goes bang, kicks him up the chin.
Come on. That's what I'm on.
Yeah. No.
Diego was streak,
I think that's why I ain't taken to obviously I take it to Messi. I believe he's up there with the greats. But when I've taken to Maradona because I just know Maradona. Just if you're in a war, Messi's gonna go, Maradona's gonna say, "Fuck this, we're coming in, fly kick, we're doing everything right now." Do you get me?
That's what I mean about Diego Maradona. I think Diego Maradona is probably the most iconic footballer ever.
Yeah.
He did so many mad things. as well as being a genius.
It's a thin line for geniuses, isn't it?
Yeah.
Between genius and madness. And often these geniuses have that self-destruct button.
Yeah.
Look at Paul Gascoigne. Paul Gascoigne comes to mind.
Yeah. They're always on the edge, aren't they? Falling
Not
off.
as naturally gifted as, say, someone like Diego Maradona, but someone of
nowhere near.
Someone still of real talents. Let's not get it twisted.
But you can't bring Maradona and Messi and then say Gascoigne. That don't make no sense.
The point I'm trying to get at is sometimes that borderline genius can be a destruct button.
I'll tell you the God's honest truth. Gascoigne was just an alcoholic, bro. Simple. He was.
Probably
He just loved it.
Yeah. When you watch documentaries of him, I don't think he ever kind of got over watching his best friend die at a young age, did he? I think that really scarred him as a young kid and probably made him drink when he got older, and then the drink got a hold of him, and before you know it, Knight, he's right, he's a full-blown alcoholic.
It was mental. You know what I didn't like? The one thing that made me like kind of drift away from him is he tried to actually fuck a player on the pitch. He tried to actually injure a player on the pitch. It was the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting himself really, really hurt. And I don't think he recovered from that.
It cost him his form and on his new move to Lazio, didn't it? Because the deal was signed.
It was Gary Charles, wasn't it?
Gary Charles. Yeah. He tried to I didn't like that. Like, it's all right if you get in a fight and whatever, but you know, for no reason as well. I think the game was 0-0.
It was a naughty tackle.
Yeah, it was horrible, that.
Yeah.
Horrible.
To see today when kids are naughty and they find a reason for that child being naughty, so maybe a diagnosis of ADHD, maybe, I don't know, whatever the child is diagnosed with. In Paul Gascoigne's day, they wouldn't have had them diagnoses. Do you think he's someone that suffered from conditions and afflictions that may not have been recognised growing up, like from the era that he's from?
Well, I think, like I said, in the documentary I've seen, him and his mate, his best friend, were crossing the road. Do you know the story?
No.
So him and his best mate were crossing a road, and his mate jumped out in front of the road and got hit by a car and died in front of Gaza when they were like 10, 11, 12. And he says like he gets flashbacks of it all the time. He said he really struggled to deal with it. And I think that played quite a big part, you know, because what happens in our life as young kids forms to a certain degree your life. And I think that was a big trauma in his life that he never really dealt with and never really coped with. So this is like what, 70s? So it's different. There was no counselling and things like that in the 70s, was it? You know, it's kind of.
I'll make you completely right on that. Like, whatever, like, people don't understand. Like, and us as parents as well. Like, do you know what I mean? We don't understand. Like, well, our era now with internet and the availability of, you know, therapies and stuff like that. It affects the kids, mate. It affects, you know, all of us as well. We've gone through stuff as well. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you don't want to talk about it online or whatever, but we've all been through stuff and it's affected us and whatever. And so I'll make you 100% right on that. And you know, if he said it was his mate, that, you know,
his best mate died in front of him, and he said in that not long after that, like a few days after that, his Tourette's started. It just started, like, Tourette's just came out of nowhere. And I think that was a trigger probably for Gaza for a lot of things that he struggled to deal with in later life. And then as you get older, to kind of numb the pain or to block things out, you start drinking, don't you? And then I just think he just spiraled out of control. And the only thing he had kind of holding him together was football. And now, as you'll know, when you're young, you can go out on a Saturday, wake up Sunday and be absolutely fine when you're young. But as you get older, it gets hold of you, doesn't it? And I think that's what happened to Gaza. I think by the time Gaza was like 25, 26, you look at the pictures, he was fat, overweight. He was done, really, wasn't
he? Yeah.
It's a shame. Good player. But Knight, he's right. He's not in that bracket of great players. I mean, when did Gaza ever have like 2 consecutive great seasons? He had a great World Cup.
He couldn't even sit at the table. He couldn't even knock on the door when it came to talking. If you sit having a laugh, no chance, bro. Absolutely no chance.
Yeah, he's more of someone that's got cult England status, hasn't he? Rather than
yeah. We love him. We love him for he's English, and we love him, and he had a drink, and he few skills, and the goal against Scotland, and a celebration, and do you know what I mean? So,
for me, Gazza was the one. The 1990 World Cup was the first World Cup that I really remember. I was 10 years of age, and Gazza was like arguably the best player in that World Cup. So he was the one where I was like, whoa. He came to my attention then, and you can't.
How did you not have got injured in that FA Cup game trying to?
You must have been 12 years old. I was 10.
10.
I was 10. I'm 82.
Yeah, it's a kind of what if question with Gazza, isn't it?
So I was 8.
What if?
Yeah.
Oh, you was 10.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. I was 8. I was crying my eyes out that night when we fucking went out. I was fucking distraught. My mum was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, I was all over the gaff, mate. Honestly.
Look at that team as well. Now you look at that team like, whoa, there's some players in that team.
Ah, mate, I tell ya. But they was up against. But what they was up against, mate. Like the Germans were flipping. They were the bollocks that year.
Yeah, Germany were good. Italy were good.
Argentina were good.
Yeah.
Will England win a World Cup within our lifetime?
When's the next World Cup? 2000 and what?
I'm saying yes. I think this batch of players we've got coming through, I think we can do. We got to a semi, we've got to a final. We're knocking on the door. I say yes. And I wouldn't have said that 3 or 4 years ago, but I'm saying yes. You look at the youth teams that England have got, they're all performing well on the international stage. So we're getting the crop coming through.
But when it comes down to it, Curtis, mate.
I know.
Do you get what I'm saying? When it comes down to like actually doing it, like Harry Kane there, the other World Cup there, the last World Cup, when it came down to actually tucking away that penalty, we couldn't produce.
Yeah. I think getting that first one's big in it because we haven't. Yeah. But listen, look at the players we've got coming through.
It means nothing. We don't see the players that France are bringing through.
True.
We don't see the players that flipping Argentina are bringing through. We don't see none of them.
It's got a point.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? We're all talking about our players and this, that, and the other. I bet you France have got some absolute gems coming through.
Yeah. I think we're going to be in it. We'll be in and around it, won't we?
Is Southgate the right man? Is Southgate the right man to lead us forward to the next World Cup? What's your take on it?
If he was ever going to win anything, it'd have been over these last 4 years. He's had unbelievable chances to win it and flopped. Mm. I've been Southgate out for a long time. I just think the guy's he's not the guy. When we get to a tournament, I'm, behind the manager, behind the team. But once the dust settles, I think he should have been sacked after this last tournament that we went to. I think he should have been sacked for the one before as well.
I think his times. I think, do you know what I mean? You got to the final of the Euros, you didn't win. You got to what did we get to there? Quarters? Was it quarters?
Semis, wasn't it?
Semis, yeah.
Semis, didn't get through. Like, we need to give someone else a crack at the whip now, brother. Like, you've had your 2 chances. You can argue a point and say you've done well, which, yeah, you probably have, but...
Yeah, he's had an unbelievable chat, the unbelievable draws. We've basically been plonked into semi-finals without even playing anyone, and still not managed. We haven't beat like a decent team in them 4 years he's been in charge. We haven't, have we?
Nope.
No. We've been quite fortunate with the draws. We did say this that we won't.
They're trying to give us the World Cup, bruv.
100%. We tried.
We just don't want to take it.
It's a funny way to look at things. Well, on that note, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time today. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, please download our free app, Pitch Footy, for some latest fan giveaways, competitions, tickets, news, you name it, we've got it on the app. And thank you very much to Curtis Woodhouse and Leon Knight for their time today. We'll see you on the next episode of Not For The News here, exclusively to Pitch Football. Thank you, boss man.